So Assassin's Creed decided to tweet earlier today. This was at 4:05 a.m. July 23rd. That the Assassin's Creed Shadows team has a message for our Japanese community. So to kind of recap what's been going on, there has been a lot of just wild takes and controversy, I guess, swirling around Assassin's Creed Shadows because of Yasuke. It has really caused commotion, I guess, among some groups. First, it was, oh, why would you make him a samurai? He's just a retainer. To you have like historians trying to, just elaborate what he was. And I mean, it has been this gigantic talking point for a lot of people for a while now. And apparently it has gotten to the point to where in Japan that there's now the government is starting to, which it's like, I guess a lot of people don't really know what exactly that entails because it's kind of been vague when they say the government, but it almost is like our Senate. And apparently that they might have questions about the historical accuracies of the game. I don't necessarily think that anything has been set in stone, that they're really going to look into it. There's just been a couple of tweets apparently in Japan that have been translated that says that, we hear you and we're thinking about, looking into this. It has not been decided that it's actually going to be taken. There's no anything definitive that says they're going to ask Ubisoft to change things or to remove things or anything of that nature. But a lot of people have thought that was either fake or that was just hearsay and rumor and that the translations is different, etc., because it's in Japanese. But I'm guessing with this statement that they released today that it has some validity to it, because all of a sudden out of nowhere they decided to make a 4-page response to the community, the Japanese community specifically. So let's go ahead and read it. And that's what this tweet is here. To our esteemed Japanese community, a message from the Assassin's Creed Shadows development team. First, we want to express our heartfelt thanks for all your support for the Assassin's Creed series, which now has its own history spanning almost 20 years. Over this time, we have explored various settings, time periods, and characters from an assassin during the Third Crusade to a Viking in 9th century England, and countless more. For many of our team, creating an Assassin's Creed game set in feudal Japan has been a long-cherished dream. Since the announcement of Assassin's Creed Shadows, we have received many positive reactions, but also some criticism, including from you, our Japanese players. We share your passion for history and deeply respect your care for the historical and cultural integrity of your rich heritage. We would like to address a few points to clarify our intentions and creative decisions. Overall, authenticity efforts. We have put significant effort into ensuring an immersive and respectful representation of feudal Japan. However, our intention has never been to present any of our Assassin's Creed games, including Assassin's Creed Shadows, as factual representations of history or historical characters. Instead, we aim to spark curiosity and encourage players to explore and learn more about the historical settings we get inspired by. Assassin's Creed Shadows is first and foremost designed to be an entertaining video game that tells a compelling historical fiction set in feudal Japan. Our team extensively collaborated with external consultants, historians, researchers, and internal teams at Ubisoft Japan to inform our creative choices. Despite these sustained efforts, we acknowledge that some elements in our promotional materials have caused concern within the Japanese community. For this, we sincerely apologize. I'm going to go ahead and pause right there because one of the things, the promotional material that they're talking about apparently was some flag that they had apologized previously about, and I'm assuming that's specifically about that right there. All game footage presented so far is in development, and the game will keep evolving until launch. Based on the constructive criticism we have received, we will continue our efforts until we put this game into your hands and beyond. We also want to clarify that while we have been consulting with many people throughout the development process, they are in no way responsible for the decisions that are taken by the creative teams in the interest of gameplay and entertainment. Consequently, we respectfully request that any criticism not be directed at our collaborators, both internal and external. So apparently there's other studios or whatnot that are partners that have been getting heat for this. I guess. Creative liberties and historical inspirations. While we strive for authenticity in everything that we do, Assassin's Creed games are works of fiction inspired by real historical events and figures. From its inception, the series has taken creative license and incorporated fantasy elements to craft engaging and immersive experiences. The representation of Yasuke in our game is an illustration of this. His unique and mysterious life made him an ideal candidate to tell an Assassin's Creed story with the setting of feudal Japan as a backdrop. While Yasuke is depicted as a samurai in Assassin's Creed Shadows, we acknowledge that this is a matter of debate and discussion. We have woven this carefully into our narrative and with our other lead character, the Japanese shinobi Naoi. Is it Naoi or Naoi? Not sure. Who is equally important in the game. Our dual protagonist provides players with different gameplay styles. We greatly value your feedback and encourage you to continue sharing your thoughts respectfully. While we understand that meeting everyone's expectations is very difficult, we sincerely hope that when Assassin's Creed Shadows launches on November 15th, players in Japan and around the world will appreciate the dedication, effort, and passion we have poured into it. Signed, the Assassin's Creed Shadows development team. I mean, this is all stuff that we already been discussing. For some reason, Yasuke has been like this magnet for people to really hammer in on everything. It's a video game in the end, guys. It's a video game in the end. They never said that this was, historically accurate or anything like that. All their games start off with them saying, there's this, this is coincidence if there's any, people being named or whatnot. It's not historically accurate and this entertainment, yada yada, like they just said here. And everybody, I guess, felt like that because they have Yasuke as a samurai, that means that they're crapping all over Japan. I think that's really the narrative that's being pushed, and it completely ignored the fact that they do have, another assassin that's Japanese. Yeah, I'm not getting why there's so much discourse around this. The TV show that they came out on Netflix and stuff like that touched up on it, I didn't really see this kind of visual response, right? So I'm kind of confused why Assassin's Creed is getting this hate. There's this wave of I guess people trying to really hammer upon everything lately, it's woke and all this kind of stuff. Don't get me wrong, there has been questionable things that a lot of media has been doing lately, not just video games, but television shows and movies and things like that. I could get some of the things that have been going around, but I feel like it's been unfair for this specifically because there is a person named Yasuke that was in Japan, and he was, of African descent. Right? Whether he was a retainer, samurai, or anything like that, like they said, there's been some historians that have come out and said yes for a fact. Some have said that it's this, but either way, even if he's a retainer, that's still classified as samurai because he would have been given a sword in a house during this era. I feel like no matter how you slice it, in the end, you can still take that character because they existed historically in feudal Japan. Whether the timing is right or whatever, what era they're showing this on, that's up for debate probably. But they're just taking that character that existed back then, that person historically that existed back then, and creating a character out of it in a video game. And I don't understand why that's like it'd be the same as if they made, let's say they made an Assassin's Creed Founding Fathers edition, right? And you had Thomas Jefferson as the main guy. Are people going to get mad because they had Thomas Jefferson, as an assassin because we know he wasn't in real life? Are we really that upset about it? I mean, they're just taking the guy's name. They know that the guy existed, and who knows? Maybe he was an assassin. Everybody saw him as this guy that wrote the created the Declaration of Independence and stuff like that. And maybe at night he was like Batman, and he was taking out some of the British soldiers that were walking around or something. I mean, who cares if it's real or not? It's not accurate, but you know, somebody can make a game like that. And we have a movie called Abraham Lincoln versus Vampires or something like that, right? Did we get hate for that? We know there was no vampires then. Like, I don't understand why we just can't have things, and you know, for entertainment and just be happy with it. Why do we have to be so upset? Feudal Japan for Assassin's Creed has been wanted by the community for a long time. I'm talking a long time, decades, probably 20 years now. Everybody wanted that. I feel like when Sekiro and Ghost of Tsushima came out, I think even more, it's like, man, can you imagine if Assassin's Creed had this time period? Imagine an Assassin's Creed game with this era. We've been saying this for a long time before those games came out, but now that we saw those games whenever they were coming out, it's like, man, I can't wait. And we finally get it, and we're just mad about Yasuke because why does he have a sword? Oh, how dare they bow to him and all this stuff. It's a video game. It's a video game. I really think that we need to like step back and realize that this is not real life. This isn't a Discovery Channel show saying this is historical event. This is what's happening. There is no rewriting or anything like that. It's made up. It's made up. I don't know. Is it just me? Is it just me, guys? You guys let me know. Let me know, because I'm pretty sure this video might get all kinds of comments. How I'm wrong and I should, you know, not accept that they have Yasuke as this and that. It's who cares? Who cares? Anyways, let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm out.